Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the matching game generator. So I'm going to open up the matching game generator file, and the first thing I need to do is I need to enable the content, because if I don't do that then the generator won't work. Okay, so you can see over here you've got a screen that welcomes you to the matching game generator, and it tells you about different options that you have available. So the first option that you have available is that you can make your cards either identical to each other in the matching pairs or related to each other. So identical could be something like 2 quarters matching 2 quarters, or it could be something like a number 5 matching a number 5, or so on. Related would be things like a 2-quarter card matching 3/6, or something like 5 matching 5 dots, or something like that. You can also create your matching game cards using pictures or text, or you could also have pictures with captions. Okay, and you can use a combination of those as well. Then when you are creating your game, you are also able to create a game with up to 5 levels with a varying number of cards in those levels. Okay, so now let's go and have a look at the next screen. So on this screen over here, you can see that you're given the option of making a game with any number of cards up to a maximum of 75. Now, or that's the matching pairs rather, not the number of cards. Then you also have the number of, then you also have the different levels that you can use. You can have very easy, medium, hard, or very hard. You can also change the names of those levels if you want to. And then here you can put in the number of cards that you want to have in each of the levels. Please be aware that you need to use numbers from this table over here. So if you put a 6 over there, it's the same as this 6, which is the same as 3 pairs, 3 matching pairs, or 8 is the same as 4 matching pairs, or 12 is the same as 6 matching pairs, and so on. If you don't use the numbers from here, then the generator won't be able to work properly. Please also be aware that the number of cards in any level cannot be more than double the number of matching pairs that you've filled in above. So if you have only filled in 4 over here, that means you only have 4 matching pairs. You can't have a level that has more than 8 cards in it, because then it won't have any cards to use for those extra matching pairs. So just be aware of that. Okay, so once you have filled in the values that you're going to use, you can go and get started. So I'm going to press F5, or you can just click on this button over here to start the slideshow. And then go to the next screen, and it gives you this option over here, and you can either choose identical or related. So in this example, I'm going to show you the related cards option. Now, in related cards, you have the option of having text matching text, or pictures matching pictures, or picture with caption matching picture with caption, or a picture matching text, or text matching a picture with caption, or a picture matching a picture with caption. So as I said, you can have a combination if you want to. So the example I'm going to show you is going to be using this picture and picture with caption over there. So I'm going to click on it, and it takes me to this screen over here, where it now tells me that I can add, because I left it at 75, so I can add 75 matching pairs using 2 sets of pictures. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to go and add those pictures. So I'm going to go and add my pictures by, I've got this shortcut over here, so I'm going to click on pictures. Otherwise you go insert pictures. Okay, so over there, then I'm going to go and add my pictures. So the first set of pictures are going to be just these fractions over here. So I'm going to select all of those and insert them. Then I'm also going to go and insert the pictures for my second set. Select all of them and insert. Now just be aware, when you are adding those pictures, let me just show you, that the pictures in the 2 folders that you're using, so whatever folders they are, they need to be in the same order in the folders, because when I carry on now, it's going to go and sort all of them based on the order in which they were inserted into the onto the slide. Now they will be inserted based on the order that they are in the folders. So if the pictures are in the same order in your folders, then they will be in the same order on the slide, which means that when I go and click on this button over here, they will be matched up properly. So just be aware that you need to make sure that that is they're in the same orders in the folders so that they can match up properly. So I'm going to go and again start the slideshow, and then I'm going to click on Arrange Pictures. And now you can see that it takes all of those pictures and it has put them into a table like this, giving me space to add a caption. Over here, the caption is going to be for that picture. So I'm going to add my caption. So if I wanted to have the caption for the other picture, I would have needed to add the circle ones first before adding the symbol fractions. So just be aware that if you are doing picture with caption, that the second set of pictures that you put in will be the ones that will have the captions. So you need to put them in the order that you want them to be. Okay, so I'm going to go and add my captions. So this would be 1/2, 2 halves, and so on. So I'm going to come back when I'm done with that. Okay, so now I've finished adding all of my captions. So as you can see over here, like I said, the images are matched up. So let me just show you over here. So this is 10/12, that's 10/12. Because I made sure that my images were in the same order in my folders when I added them, then the images were matched up properly when they were sorted on the slide. Okay, so once I've got my pictures and my captions all sorted out and ready, I can go to the next slide. So I'm going to go down to the next slide over here, and here I've got an option to customize my cards. So in this over here, I can choose to make my card backs whatever I want them to be. So I'm going to go and click on that, and I'm going to change the color. So I can go and make that whatever color I want to. So I will make it pink. Yeah, like that. And then I'm also going to go and insert a picture, because I want to have a picture on my card back. So to do that, it says for the card backs you can change the color and the border of the card back. Then if you wish to, you can use a picture. You can insert it on the slide and then press Shift and F5 to start the slideshow from the slide, or you can just click on this button over here, and then you can click on the Create Card Back button over there. So I'm going to go and insert another picture over here. So I'm going to go over there. I'm going to add this for my card back, and then I'm going to go and start the slideshow and click on Create Card Back. And now you can see that it has taken that picture and it has made it into the card back using the color that I had over there. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm also going to go and change my card fronts. Now the card fronts, this is for card A and card B. You can change the font, you can change the size of the font, you can change the color of the font, whatever you want to. This one has font because it's a caption picture. Obviously this one does not have any text, so I wouldn't be changing any fonts over here. So if I wanted to, I could change that to that font if I wanted to, and I could make it slightly bigger. I will still be able to go and change that a little bit more once I have done it over here, depending if I need to, based on the actual cards that will be generated. Okay, so then I'm also going to go over here and I'm going to go and change this. I'll make it yellow and I'll make this one orange. Okay. So I can have different colors for card A and card B. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the next slide. Okay, so now it says press Shift and F5 to start the slideshow from the slide, and then click on the button to generate the cards. You will still be able to format the front of the individual cards if you wish. So what I'm going to do is you can either press Shift and F5, or you can just click on this button over here and click on Generate Card Game or Game Cards. And it'll take a little while to do it because it's having to work with all those pictures. And now you can see it brings up this over here, asking if you want to compress the pictures. I would recommend that you do compress the pictures just to improve the speed of the game itself. So you can make it, I would recommend not having it at 330 or high fidelity, but having it at 220 or less. So I'm going to put 220 like that. And then you can see I've got over here, all of the cards have been generated. So half matching 1/2 over there, 2/3 matching 2/3, and so on. Okay, so now if you wanted to, you could still go and select individual cards and format them. So if I'm just going to check through here and see if all of my captions are fitting nicely, they all do seem to be fitting nicely. If any of the captions were a problem, then I could go and click on those individual cards and I could format the text again. I could change the size or whatever to make sure that the captions fit properly as I need them to. So you can go and format individual cards here again if you would like to. Once you are happy with all of your cards, you can go on to the next slide. Now this slide over here is there for you to be able to add a reinforcing message. So when they get a matching pair in the game, then it'll bring up this message saying congratulations, you got a match, and it'll show them the cards that were matching to reinforce the concept that is being practiced. So you can go and format this, you can customize it as much as you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and change the font over here. So I'm going to make it like that, and I am going to make it a bit bigger, and I'm going to make that a bit higher up. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to change that. So I'm going to change the background. So format the shape, and I'm going to change the fill to a picture fill and insert. And then go from a file, and I'm going to go and insert this one over here. This is what I want to have as my the background for my reinforcing message. Please be aware that you need to work with a shape that is already there and change the background of it rather than inserting a new picture. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm going to go and resize it. So I will just press Control so it resizes on the same on both sides, and then also like that over there. Please be aware that I'm not moving these two at all, because if I move them, that'll cause problems later on. So just don't move those. You can manipulate and change the message at the top here. You can change this over here if you want to, but please just don't move those at all. Okay, once I've done that, I'm also going to go and take this and remove the line, because I don't want there to be a line, because that would just look a bit odd. So I'm going to make it no line. So when I deselect it, you can see that there's no line around it. Okay, so that is what my reinforcing message is going to look like whenever they get a matching pair. Then it will pop up saying this, and it will show them, it'll show the different cards like that were matching. So now I'm going to go to my next slide, and again I'm going to generate those reinforcement messages. So I'm going to go and click on this button over here, or press Shift and F5, and then click on the button to generate the reinforcement messages. And I was just busy doing that. Again, I would recommend compressing it just to help to improve the speed. And now you can see over here you have got all of those reinforcement messages. Now if you wanted to, you could actually go and change the actual text over here for each individual message. If you wanted to have a different message every time, you could do that. You could have well done, you could have congratulations, you could have wow, you did it, or something like that. And you could have different messages for all of the different reinforcement messages if you wanted to. I'm just obviously going to leave them as they are for this example. Okay, once you're happy with that, then you can go and go to the next slide. And here you can go and start customizing what the actual game will look like. So in your game, you're going to have, this is the slide that players will see when they open the game. It's the welcoming slide. So here you could have the title of your game or a welcome message or something. So here I'd have fractions matching game. And I'm going to change the font for all of these like that. Then I'm also going to change the backgrounds for all of these. Now I'm going to do it for all of these at the same time. I'm going to change the backgrounds, and I'm going to do a picture fill, but not that one obviously. So I'm going to go insert, and I'm going to use this as my background. So I'm going to make a spring themed game. Now over here I also want this text to be a little bit more visible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert over here a shape, just a rectangle, and I'm going to put that over there and send it to the back. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to make it white and just change the transparency slightly so that you can still see the background through, but it's easier to read the text. Okay, now that I've finished formatting my welcome slide, what I'm going to go and do is I'm going to go to the next slide, and here this is for our different levels that we have in the game. If you chose to have fewer levels, then you'll have fewer buttons over here. And you can over here change the formatting of the buttons, you can change the color, you can change whatever. So I'm going to just change all of the text over here to be the same font that I was using. And then, like I said, you can change the color and whatever if you want to. And then once you're happy with that, you can go on to the next slide. Now this is what the slide will look like for the one-player version of the game. So for the one-player version of the game, you can see that there are no scoreboards or anything, because obviously that's not necessary. And then here is what our slide looks like for the two-player version. So again, I'm just going to go and format all of these. And make it like that. And then I'm also, for these two over here, going to change the fill to a picture fill. And I'm going to use this to make it look a little bit more like a scoreboard. But you don't have to do that. You can format whatever you want to in whatever way you want to. Okay, once you're happy with the appearance of what your game looks like, then you can come to the final slide over here, and you're going to generate your game. Now, just let's go through what it says over here, just to tell you what's going to be happening. So the first thing that will happen when your game is being generated is that the file will be saved with everything that you have done to it. Then the slides will be added to the game for the game to work with everything that you've chosen and inserted in this generator. Cards will be added to the slides, animations will be applied to the cards, and links will be created to move between the slides. 3 versions of each level will be created so the players can replay the level 3 times, and each time it will be different when they click play again. After playing 3 times, they will be taken back to the first version of that level. All 3 slides that are not part of the actual game will be deleted. Okay, so when the game has been generated, as it says over here, there will be 3 versions of each level of the game, so that they can replay the game 3 times and not be playing the exact same cards every single time, in the same positions every single time. Please note, your computer will be doing an enormous amount of work while all of this is happening, so it can take a fairly long time to complete the process. Please just be patient while it is doing that, especially if you're creating a game with levels that have a large number of cards. So please just be patient. Also, something that I do need to say that I have become aware of as I have used this generator is that occasionally the generator seems to get stuck, and there seems to be a timing issue with PowerPoint, that it just stops and it seems to think it's done even though it's not. If that does happen, what you would need to do is you would just need to, if that happens, you would be able to actually do stuff, which you shouldn't be able to while it is still busy. So if that does happen, and you are suddenly able to do things on here, but it's not finished, you would need to press undo to get it back to the state again, and then click on the generate button again to make it start the process of creating the game again. Unfortunately, that just seems to be some timing issue to do with PowerPoint that I have no control over. Okay, once you have finished generating your game, you will then need to save your game. When you save your game, I would recommend saving it as a PowerPoint show. So you're going to click on or press Ctrl-Shift-S or click on the File Save As button. Okay, and then you will go and type in the name that you want to give to your matching game and choose PowerPoint Show. And I will run you through that. And I will go through that with you once the game is generated now. Okay, so I'm going to go and start the slideshow over here. And then I'm going to click on the Generate Game button. And now, when I do that, it is going to take a while to actually generate this game. Like I said, it does take some time. And if it does give a problem, you would need to then go and undo and then start it again. But I'm not going to make you wait for it now, so I'm going to pause the video and then I'll come back when it's done. Okay, so it is finished generating the game. So now I'm going to go and save it. So I'm going to press on Ctrl-Shift-S or go File Save As, and then I'm going to save it as a PowerPoint show. So that is PPSX, which is over here. And when I save it as PowerPoint show, it will ask me, I'm also going to give it the name Fractions Matching Game. Okay, so I'm going to save it. And now it's going to ask me if I want to save it without macros. Now I'm going to click on yes, because now that the game has been generated, everything works without macros. Everything is purely using animations and links, there are no macros for the actual game to run, which was important to me because I know that there are people who are weary of using macros, and so I wanted to make it possible for you to create matching games that do not require macros to actually run. So I'm going to click on yes because the game does not require macros. And now I'm going to close it, and let's go and have a look at what the actual matching game, how it actually works. So here it is. It's the one that I just saved over there. I'm going to click on that and open it. And because it is a PowerPoint show, it opens up directly into the slideshow. It doesn't open up into editing mode. So that makes it useful when a student is using it. They can just open it and start playing. They don't have to worry about going into slideshow mode or anything. Okay, so now you can see over here, I've got buttons. They can choose to play with one player or two players. You could also obviously have changed these instructions if you wanted to as well. Okay, so I'm going to first show you the one player option. And here you can see they can choose the different levels. So if I choose easy, there is the easy version over there. And now the way that the actual game works is if they click on there and click on there, if they don't match, they need to click on them again to turn them back over. Then they will click the next one and the next one. You can see 4/8 over there and 5/8 obviously don't match, but here was 5/8 and there was 5/8. So now they have a matching pair, and it brings up this message saying that they got a matching pair. So they need to click on that message over there, and then those two cards have disappeared, so they can't click on them again. So now we're going to go to the next one like that, and there those don't match. And here we have 4/7, which matches that one over there, and then I've got 4/8, which was not that one, and that is 4/8, and that matches, and then those ones match over there. So now this game is finished. So now we can go and click play again. If they click play again, that allows them to start a new round of this level, but the cards are now different to what they were the first time, because like I said, 3 versions of each level are created. So here I've got these cards. If I go play again for a third time, then it's again different cards. And now if I click play again a third time, it'll take me back to the first version. So this is the same as the first time that I played. Okay, so that is what that level looks like. Let's go to... Okay, so let me just go and show you what the other levels are. So I had chosen to have 6 cards in the very easy level, so that's what that looks like. Then there's my easy with the 8 cards. Here's my medium with 12 cards. Here's my hard with 16 cards, and then my very hard with 20 cards. Now, as I said, you could have used more cards in your, or different number of cards in your different levels of the game. So now I'm going to go and show you the 2-player option. So in the 1-player option, like I said, it doesn't have any scoreboards or anything. So in the 2-player option, if I click on there, now you've got over here scoreboards. So when students are playing the game, they can give themselves a score or a point every time they get a match. So if player 1 goes and they don't get a match, then player 2 goes and now they got a match. So now they can go and click on that to give themselves a point, and then they can go again. So now they go over there, they don't get a match, then player 1 gets a match and they can give themselves a point, and then they can get the last one over there and they get another point. So that is how the 2-player option works. Okay, so that is how the matching game generator works. I hope that has been helpful, and I hope that you have a fantastic day. Thank you. Goodbye.